What's happening, everyone? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the steering wheel and the instrument cluster inside of the 2022 Ford Transit Connect. Very straightforward process. It's going to take a couple minutes to go through everything, all the different buttons, instrument cluster screen, and what everything does. But let's dive into it, have a little bit of fun, and see what's going on with the Transit Connect. Next up, let's take a peek at the steering wheel of the vehicle. So very straightforward, and there's a lot of flexibility though when it comes down to it. So starting off, looking along the very top left there, so as you can see, we can figure out what's going on with our cluster screen. So we can go up and down between a few different options. We've got our basic for our My View. This one is going to let us go between different sub-menus. So we've got our digital speedometer, eco coach, things like that. But as we go up and down, we're actually going between different options there, and each one has a different subsection. So we go to our audio, we can change between AM, FM, Sirius XM. If our phone was connected, we could also have that as an option there also. Moving down a little bit more, we've got our phone, we've got our settings screen, as well as our trip counter. Moving inside, we've got our trip 1, 2, we can reset if we wanted to, and we can simply press the OK button in the middle in order to be able to reset all values, so we can easily press that if we wanted to. Moving down, one of the big ones to point out are going to be our driver assistance settings. So we've got our blind spot system. That lets us know if anybody's entered the blind spot on either side of the vehicle. Pre-collision assist, active braking, so if the vehicle senses a collision, it's automatically going to brake for us. We can turn that system off if we want to. We've got our lane keeping system, so that's where we've got the alert, the aid, or the alert and the aid. And down a bit more, we've got our driver alert, so if we get too many notifications, it's going to let us know we should probably take a break. Down a bit more, we've got our cross-traffic alert. So if we're backing up and the vehicle senses a vehicle behind us, it's going to beep at us, letting us know of a potential collision. Back again, that is going to be the basics of that setting. And then going in through, as you can see, through navigation, we've got my previous destinations, favorite, point of interest icons, things like that. Now, one thing to note, if yours didn't have the factory navigation, we wouldn't have that sub-menu option there instead. It would literally just be the compass showing up. And that's going to be the basics of the actual instrument cluster screen, so very straightforward. Off to the right-hand side, we can change between songs or radio stations, answer or hang up on a phone call, and then we can also increase or decrease the volume if we'd like to. All on the bottom left side, so we will have at least our regular cruise control inside of this as well. So it is nice to know that if we are a fan of cruise, we can have that one going if we'd like to. Looking on our left stick, we've got a button on the very tip of the stick there. So we can push that button in order to be able to turn that lane keeping system on or off. So that's one nice thing, is that we can turn it on or off if we want to. We know it's on when we see that little steering wheel, so we see those lanes right in the middle there. Now, one thing to note about the actual lane keeping system itself, like I said, we have the flexibility of changing it out so that it gives us either a little bit of a steering wheel shake or nudges us into our lane. So we've got some flexibility there. We can flash our high beams as well. In order to permanently lock them out, we just have to make sure that inside of this, we're not on the auto setting. So something to think about there. And then the stick on the right, so we do have the flexibility to be able to control what's going on with our front and our rear wiper. We can turn our rear wiper on because there's a little button right on the tip of that stick there. So we can turn our rear wiper on simply by pressing that one up or down. So kind of neat, right? I love how simple it is, nicely laid out as well. But if you have any questions, run into any problems, drop down in the comment section below and let me know. And until I see you next time, take it easy.